Hello.
Ouch. That's really quite loud, but okay.
It's in the master volumes if you get this one.
Okay. So,
If I can. Oh, actually, I was going to say
oh, is that,
Whoa.
that better for you?
This is weird. I'm getting it all in. Whoa. I'm getting it phasing in and out of the two sides. Alright, there we go. It's normal.
Yep, I'm happy with this. Cool.
You don't have to wear headphones.
What?
What?
No, you have to wear headphones. He doesn't.
Sweet, take a little bit.
And as long as you're happy with the audio, that
Yeah.
you can see and hear, which I am happy with the audio, just take them off.
Okay.
So you don't have to.
So we are live, we just start.
You're live now, so everyone can hear us talking.
Cool.
So you can minimize that one. No, that's maximize. Minimize.
Yep.
So, yep. You're live over here, so you can, if you keep that down,
Oh, I see. It's back by a few.
yeah, so there. Oops. Just hit record and just start recording, and you'll see views. You got views.
Where does it say views?
So yeah, because you got no one viewing you.
Oh.
So you'll see a number one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you get a viewer. So if you got Twitter, on Facebook or whatever, start texting.
There's a bit of a.
There's
Yeah, there's a.
Oh, there's one hell of a delay on
Yeah.
it.
delay.
Whatever.
Don't forget, it's going from Australia. To
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right. Oh, that's weird, but okay. Yeah, no, I did like the whole hand movement thing.
Yeah, no,
expected, yeah.
Like I've been messing around with it. Wait, and
And
wait for it
there's
to come up.
the epiphany.
Yes.
Yeah, well, let me do it.
Alright,
we'll have that.
Cool.
Don't forget to hit record.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, actually do that.
Do I sound alright?
Yeah. Do you sound alright? I mean, do I sound alright?
I don't have the headphones on, so you tell me.
Oh,
Ah.
gee, shit. Alright, be ready to record in 3,
Make sure you've got the intro.
2. Oh, you can't hear it. Damn
Yes,
it!
stop
Damn it! No! I was
Okay.
literally making the sounds and
Oh, we've got a viewer.
I was literally making the sounds and,
Hi.
I can hear it. I was like, why? Damn it! All right, we ready to do it?
Yeah, let's go.
3, 2, 1. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live. My name is Matt.
And I'm Harry.
So we're live. Look at this.
This is crazy, dude. I had no idea we were going live. Like I'm
Neither
sketchy.
I-
Oh, we lost them.
Oh,
Okay,
they got bored.
that's good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna hate having to see like who's actually watching and who's not. Like
It'd be very discouraging when you see like a couple and then they all just disappear. It's like, oh
yeah,
no,
well, that's the
come back.
thing. You know, like when you go on like Instagram Live and you can see how many people are watching it at the moment. I feel like this is kind of like that because you can see when you go on and you're like you can see people dropping out at the same time, and I'll be on there. I'm like, I really like this artist. I don't want to drop out because I know the
Yo,
numbers are going down.
We should go live on our Instagrams.
That'd be cool.
Alright.
Oh, dude, I wanted to talk to you. So you know how I've been really busy with the job recently.
Actually, I'll do it for the next one, I reckon, because that way we'll be more organized and.
Oh, you meant now? Hell nah.
Yeah, so
Let's
that's
just go
what
with
we'll
this.
do it next time
Yeah.
when we're more organized and
Yeah.
not being, hey, look, you're going live today, surprise.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like he said we were recording. I thought it was just gonna be a recording.
Yeah,
like,
I knew
yada
the
yada.
people before us were recording questions without answers, but you guys
Sage
are doing
and
an
Rachel.
amazing. Yeah, you
And
guys are doing an
right
amazing
now,
job.
this is a fur-lined seat. Thanks, Sage. Please don't kill me for that.
A shout out to you. Wow. Anyway,
It's just I'm starting to understand it with long hair though. Like seriously, it's annoying. But I was gonna say it's weird seeing like the delay as well. We're just messing around, guys. Like we're just having a bit of fun here.
yeah, we're live on the air.
How many times are you gonna say live?
Live.
Okay, shut up. But now I was gonna say, like, because you know how busy I've been with work and everything recently.
yeah.
I was talking to them about going down to part time. So like that's 4 days a week. It essentially means I'd get Fridays off, which to be honest I really want to do, just because I am struggling with 5 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, like, again, I've never worked a job in my life.
Mm.
So 38 hours plus a 45-minute drive to and from work. I have maybe 4 hours a day to myself.
Yeah.
And then I have the weekend, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's like...
That's the benefits of being an adult. And working
benefits of
and-
being an adult. Bitch, please, there ain't no benefits except I rake in cash to an extent.
Yeah.
So like, but that's the thing. Like that's what I don't like about like today's modern. By the way, we should keep an eye on how long we've been going. Keep that in mind.
We were like
do we still
not
need to put in
recording.
breaks?
We were live but not recording for about
Oh, yeah,
5
I can
minutes.
see, yeah.
So
This is kind of nice because now I can see what you see as well. But yeah, what I was saying was that's kind of what I don't like. This sounds totally naive of me, and really young, dumb, and broke of me. But like 'em. But I don't like that whole kind of thing of today. It's kind of like you work and spend all your time to get money to spend on time that you don't have.
yeah, to spend on like activities and stuff which
Yeah.
you can't do because you don't have time. Yeah.
That's the thing, because like again, I've just been like busy with this, and don't get me wrong, the work's fine, and I work with good people.
Mm.
But it's like I'd prefer to spend time with like some of my best mates. Like I prefer to spend time with you, with Braden and the rest. And shut up.
I'd say I'm blushing, but people could say I'm not. So damn it.
Like mates like Mitch and everything, but it's like, oh well.
Mm, yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. You know, I'm making money now and building a stable future for myself, but
Mm,
it's not really
yeah.
what I totally want right now.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, so part-time's the best option for me right
Fair
now.
enough. And it's like when you say part time, I'm thinking like half of what you've got, not necessarily.
No,
just
it
one
goes
day.
from 38 hours to 30 hours.
Yeah,
So it's an
so-
8-hour difference. It means I'm literally just not working one day.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only. It's called permanent part-time, so the contract would bring me down to 60 hours every 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Whereas right now I'm on 76 hours.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
it essentially just means I get Fridays off, which I'm 19. I'd kind of like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Extra long weekend and
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm both really happy that we have this long weekend, but I also really wish I'd planned for it.
yeah, like I've got it's a non-teaching week at uni, so I don't have to go in, and yeah, it kind of throws out my whole week because I lose my routine and everything, and then it's just like, yo, free time, go do what you want. It's like, well, shit, I don't know what to do now. Yeah, I do have an essay that I still need to write, which is due not tomorrow Sunday, but the next Sunday, which is good because it's like 1,500 words. And
Oh lordy, this is why I didn't go to uni.
okay,
We already
we've
had
probably
this
talked
discussion.
about we've already talked about uni and it's good things and bad things. And
Dude, I'm gonna get a crick in my neck just from doing this kind of halfway look.
all right, we'll just look dead.
Nah,
center of
it's
the
all
wall.
cool.
Okay, so news for today: Spider-Man is back in the MCU.
Yeah, seriously.
figure.
Like, yeah, go figure. Who'da thunk it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was announced like last night or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess would have been like 12 in the afternoon in America where it was done.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Time difference.
But yeah, that's the thing. So Spider-Man is back in the MCU for his final movie in the trilogy and then an appearance in another MCU film. And his movie is set to release 2021.
Yes. So close. Well.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's only 2 years out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. I mean, like, people are talking about all this stuff, like, in 2020, 2021, 2022. Like, it's a far way away. That's only 3 years.
Yeah. It's
Like, and especially considering how much they're releasing, that's crazy.
Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, Disney.
It's just Mickey Mouse is just. Actually, I can't. Oh. Yeah, I'm not gonna make that analogy.
Come on.
That's
No.
what it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's his fun house.
Oh, he's definitely having fun, all right.
Oh my God. But
All
yeah,
that
so
money.
Disney is doing very well. The Mouse House is very happy.
Yeah.
But like there's good and bad to it. Like obviously I grew up on the MCU. Like I was 8 years old when Iron Man came out, and that's what introduced me to Marvel and comics and nerdery in general. Apart from Transformers when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But like that was my first introduction, and so honestly, I'm still like a big fan of the MCU just because it's kind of always been there with me. Like it's crazy to think it's just a simple film franchise, but it's lasted over 10 years now. It's
And
really
will
expanded.
probably
Yeah.
last longer than we'll be alive, most likely.
That's the thing. Well, actually, yeah, how long it lasts and how long it's successful are two different things.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I remember like talking to my mates. This was before Endgame came out.
The amount
this-
of endgame speculation we did on our other
Oh my
stuff,
god, yeah.
so much.
The amount of speculation we do on movies that are coming out, and we're like, surely this shit'll happen, and it's like, nah.
The one movie that I saw recently that I made no speculation on was the new Rambo Last Blood.
Oh yeah.
Don't bother.
Oh, don't worry, I already wasn't. I
Yeah,
saw that and
it's-
went, nope.
Yeah, no, it
What
was.
were you expecting, dude? No offense.
Okay, well, I haven't actually seen the other Rambos. I watched like a Rambo in 7 minutes thing on IGN to catch me up on it,
Yeah.
and I got the general gist of it, and then I watched
Rambo.
this one, and yeah, and then I watched this one, and it was completely different to what the other movies was. It
Yeah,
was
because Sylvester
really-
Stallone is old.
He's really fucking violent, like
Because the
Wow.
audience
Wow.
is older as well.
yeah, but like damn. Another movie that I saw recently,
So,
Dark
Dark Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually looked that up this morning because here's the thing. I do like action scenes. I'm a fight choreography, like, not to an extent. I don't know fighting styles, but I love good animated or just choreographed fight scenes.
Yeah.
And so you said, oh shit, I need to stop swinging. Dark Phoenix is intense. So I thought,
Yeah, some of
okay,
the
I'll take a look. The train scene, that was the main thing I watched.
Yeah. Did you see Magneto's?
Magneto, yeah.
Yeah.
That was dope.
This is
I actually really liked that because it wasn't quite what I expected from him, but it showed off his power.
Yeah. Like, he's-
Granted, he was in a metal, like, he was in his dream state of metal
pretty-
all
yeah,
around.
he was in a metal train, but
Yeah, but it was still impressive. Here's the
That's right.
thing. So I never watched the film, and what I know of the Dark Phoenix saga is here and there. Why aliens exactly? What?
so actually I'm not gonna worry about
I sort
spoilers
of-
'cause it's out
Yeah.
now. It's been out for a
It's
while.
been out for a while. It's already
Um,
to DVD, I think.
So essentially, the Phoenix Force was
Yeah.
this thing. So the X-Men go up to rescue some astronauts that this
Yeah,
energy has
that's
kind of
original
fucked
from, yeah.
with. It's the aliens' energy source, and it helps them create planets and stuff. So
What
once
the-
they see it enter Jean, they come down to Earth trying to get it back. And because they see the planet, they're like, "Yo, we'll get it back from Jean. We can start again here and kill you all."
Okay, here's the thing.
I thought I knocked
You were
something.
so scared. Oh
I
my
thought I
god.
knocked something.
Here's the thing. What I do know about the Dark Phoenix saga is limited, but if I remember correctly, like the Phoenix Force isn't like this alien superpower to create planets. It's more so.
Oh, it has the ability to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's something like it's either the like ultimate energy from the original Big Bang, or it's the collective psyche of all mutants, something like that. It's around that kind of mythical kind of force. That's why, it's not just Jean Grey is the most well known for it, but then you've also had Scott Summers use it. You've had Wolverine. Like there are plenty of people who've used the Phoenix Force. And
Actually, was unaware of that, but fair
Yeah.
enough. The more you know.
that's the thing. I don't know too great about X-Men, but I do know the Phoenix Force is a massive thing, dude. There's one where Wolverine, and it was a badass panel to like read through. But like I think he was killing Galactus or something, and he literally had a gun with the Phoenix Force imbued bullet, and he fired it. It actually killed him. Wolverine, it killed him, but he fired a gun with the Phoenix Force into like Galactus or some big power's face. And just went, yeah, bye.
Damn.
It was actually really badass. Makes no sense, but
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, it was actually It was an alright movie. Like, if you completely disregard all the X-Men lore and all that stuff, it's an enjoyable action movie.
It's a
Cool.
good superhero action.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Well,
Yeah,
I
well-
didn't pay to see it. I was given it, so I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll watch it and enjoyed it.
Well, that's kind of what I mean, because I did watch that train scene, and that was good. Like, in its own right, especially Magneto stuff, like what he did, and then even, say, Beast and everything they were doing. It was impressive. It was good. From a narrative standpoint, what even?
Yeah,
I watched it solely for the action, and I enjoyed it. But if I had watched it to go, oh, sweet, I want to see a live-action Phoenix Saga, no chance. Rewinding a bit, I wanted to ask for your opinion on. So obviously we know Spider-Man's coming back. I think they've got John Watts as the director, and I can't remember her name, but the one who's been producing the last two as well. So they've essentially got the Spider crew
the
back.
original
Yeah.
production team. Yeah.
So it's essentially going to keep going like nothing happened. What?
Well, to an extent, nothing really did. I mean, that movie was coming out regardless
Yeah.
of who was making it. It was still going to come out because it was under Tom Holland's original contract. So.
Well, the movie was going to come out, but like the direction, what it actually would have been completely different from Disney to
different, yeah.
Sony. But what do you think with the appearance? Because he's set to appear in another one. What do you think he'll appear in? Because I'm just trying to think of what's coming out. Because
I hope it's
can't-
an actual movie, not one of the TV spin-offs. If
Yeah.
it was to be one of the TV spin-offs, I'd say it would be Falcon and Winter
I was
Soldier,
just
if
thinking
anything.
that, yeah.
Just because
Well-
he's already had prior interaction with them, like more so than the others.
I think that would be interesting just because you have that kind of, well, we all know about Anthony Mackie and Tom Holland, like what they think of each other, which I don't know if it's serious or not, but you know, everyone loves it.
It's probably like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems a little more serious than that, but nonetheless, I think that's just Anthony Mackie, which I'm not shitting on either of them, by the way. I think that's just Anthony Mackie being Anthony Mackie and
Yeah.
Tom Holland just playing along with it.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say so.
But needless to say, yeah, I think would work in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If not a Marvel movie I can think of, I'll actually get back to you with right back when we get back from this break.
Yes.
And yes, I know we're live, but we need to record our breaks.
Yeah. So,
That one.
break.
And break. And we're back.
Yo.
So here's the thing, yeah, with Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think it would work because you'd have, you know, when like you get an appearance, it's usually the superheroes get along. I can see this where, because keep in mind what the Falcon and Winter Soldier series is essentially going to be. I feel like it's because it's going to be a terrorist hunt.
Yeah.
For Zemo, but then it's also they don't want Falcon being Captain America. So I feel like it's also going to be a thing of he's getting fought on all sides with Bucky as his only friend. If not, possibly Bucky gets used against him. I don't know. But nonetheless, so I feel like it could be they're on the run kind of case. And so
Yeah.
since they keep low to the ground, they run into
Spider-Man.
New York and see him. And they're
Yeah,
like,
that'd be
dude, give me a hand
That would
here.
also be a really good way to introduce like the Defenders and shit, but obviously that's not going to happen
Yeah.
because Netflix. But still, it would have been a good way to kind of introduce them that way.
Well, I think there's good and bad to the Netflix series not being a part of it. The tone is a bit different between them. Well, actually, it's
That's
a ton
what
different.
I think makes them better.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that. Like, the Netflix series were unhinged by Disney's strict laws, while still being, moderated enough to be considered for the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they weren't as kid friendly as the MCU is. They were like actually kind of intense,
Punisher.
and then they went to stuff like that. And
That's like the Punisher and Daredevil, I think, were their best ones.
I would.
Oh,
have
and
to-
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people don't hear for it, but it's kind of like they're all top tier Even Iron Fist, I say because apparently my mate Braden, he says season 2 was actually good. So it's definitely their worst one. But
Yeah.
even that started to pick up.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, they're all high tier, and I actually really enjoyed the Luke Cage series.
I
The
haven't
only
seen season 2, but I've only seen the first season. Even
Yeah.
that alone was like, yeah, this is pretty good.
the first season was definitely better, but even season 2, because thing with the Luke Cage series, it felt like 4 seasons worth.
Did we write it?
No,
that's
it was
okay.
like 14 and 23 or something like that.
Yeah, something to that extent. We have to take show notes, which essentially where we cut out the break for when it goes to radio. Is pretty
Yeah.
much what that's for.
We're part of a business now. Yeah.
Part of the machine.
Don't get me started on that. Dude, I was raised by hippies on Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's just why I wanted to say that, because I know.
Mm.
One thing.
Okay,
carry
go
on.
for it. No.
Oh, it's completely off topic from what we were talking about. I was just going to mention
That's great, let's go for
Greta Thunberg.
Okay, can we hold that off for like
Yeah.
the last half? Because that is something we can really get into.
Yeah. So,
Um,
carry on.
So yeah, what I was saying, Luke Cage, that felt like 4 seasons into. Like the pacing was really quick and jam-packed series.
Yeah.
Like think about the first season. Remember how Mahershala Ali, how he was Cottonmouth and then he died halfway through, and then they had the second arc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
That was a lot, man. Like he could have run for the entire first season if they wanted him to.
Yeah.
And he was good. That's the thing.
And then he went on to do True
Blade.
Detective.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Blade.
He was actually really good in, and I mean it was Oscar bait, but the one, him driving through the South,
Oh, yeah.
the Green Book.
Yeah, the Green Book, that's it.
That was actually really good, but it was total Oscar bait, honestly.
Ah.
You know what I mean by Oscar bait?
pretty sure they.
You know how like some movies, like the Oscars aren't, they're the Oscars, but they're definitely rigged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a whole thing of money wins Oscars, marketing wins Oscars, and then specific indie shows that supposedly have meaning, like say the Green Book, which it's looking at the whole kind of progressive thing. Like the whole story is literally, and it's based on a true story, of an African American man going through the Deep South in like I think the 1950s or so, with a Italian man like as his driver for him and bodyguard. Like, did you see it?
No, I haven't actually seen it. So this
Yeah,
is,
that's the thing.
okay.
Like, it's intense, and it really deals with like racial issues and looking at the sign of the times, and even that's the thing. It even looked at kind of the perception of race, culture, who you are, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
But even that whole kind of topic is a kind of thing of it's like, ooh, people, if they want to sound intellectual and sound smart, they'll look at that and say, oh yes, I'm really watching something here. It's it's like it's indie for the sake of being indie, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I mean by Oscar bait. It's the perfect setup. If the Oscars want to seem progressive, if people want to seem smart
they
for
do
picking a
stuff
film,
like
they'll
that,
pick
yeah.
that. Yeah, and so it was the same with, and I still want to watch it, Moonlight, when it came out a few years ago.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
The entire
Still haven't seen. There's still a few movies I haven't seen that I need to see.
But the entire basic concept behind that, I'm not saying they're not good movies. I'm saying that the way they're set up is that they're made to win the Oscars in the state that the Oscars are in right now. Like seriously.
Yeah.
We're still
When you
looking
think
for
about
it.
like a lot of things, you realize that it's quite fucked and rigged, and it's pretty much like anything in life, like politics, like our current economic climate is just.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get into maybe some of this more serious stuff when we talk about Greta. But
yeah.
getting back to what I was saying, so Mahershala Ali, he went from Cottonmouth, did a lot of really good stuff, and then he's now landed Blade, which I think he's the perfect actor for Blade, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's going to do a good job. That's
yeah.
what 2022. No, it didn't actually have a release date. I don't
Yeah,
think.
it'll be a part of Phase 5.
Yeah.
Which, it'll be like the first one they release from Phase 5, along with Black Panther or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Blade and Black Panther, like mere months apart, that'd be a good marketing thing.
yeah, that would. Well, I'm actually, because I've still got predictions for. I still think, and a lot of people have said it, and like Boss Logic did a really good rendition of it. I'm hoping Black Panther 2 is Two Kings. So Black
Ooh,
Panther fighting Namor.
that'd be pretty cool.
Because again, they already set it up in Endgame with the earthquake off the Wakandan like African shelf.
Yeah, that's right. When
Um,
you see Captain Marvel for the second time in Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
'cause
no,
you
I
see
think
her
that was.
haircut.
Oh, yeah. Which she looked comic accurate. I know not everybody liked it, but I enjoyed it. Plus, the suit she was
The-
wearing was an homage to the original Captain Marvel, the guy.
Huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
on Captain Marvel, the petition to have her replaced has actually reached its goal now. Somehow.
Wait, what? Wait, has it actually been successful, or?
Oh, it's reached its goal of however many people they needed to sign it, but I really hope it doesn't go through because Brie Larson is awesome.
Why does she get so much hate? Like, okay,
Because
well, no, I
people
know
are
why she gets
sensitive
so much
little-
hate. Censor yourself, yeah. But here's the thing, and it's a case of like, it's hard to talk about like PC culture these days. It's hard to talk about because like
Yeah, no, political correctness at this point, it's just gone.
it's intense. Yeah, it's really intense. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I will just say right now, I think Brie Larson is brilliant as Captain Marvel. I think her Endgame was not her best performance of it. It was definitely an accurate one, but I don't think it was her best. However, I definitely still want her to stay in as Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah,
She needs
definitely,
to be
and I
Captain
hope
Marvel.
she does because
Yeah.
I liked her.
Yeah. Okay, so rewinding a bit. Yeah, so hopefully, Two Kings.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be really good. Namor, he's kind of slept on, in my opinion. I can see you moving the mic now.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the thing. Like Namor, he slept on. I don't know too much about him, but he's kind of always been.
The first time I actually heard his name, I associated it straight away with Aquaman.
That's because Aquaman is, and I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of DC fans here. Aquaman is essentially a Namor ripoff.
Ooh, take that, Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa is dope as
Oh
Aquaman.
yeah, he's just dope in general. He's beautiful.
Hey, so-
Yeah, no, same. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So with Namor, and I do actually say that as a joke. Like a lot of people compare Marvel and DC and like, oh shit, they ripped this character off and it's back and forth. But
Okay, the
dude-
one that you can clearly see they changed is
Deadpool?
Yeah, Deadpool.
Oh yeah, even the creator said like, yeah, no, Deadpool is specifically inspired by Slade Wilson.
Yeah, because it's
Like,
it's
that's
Slade
straight up
Wilson,
Deathstroke.
Wade Wilson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then he made his own version of it, which
Yeah.
Deadpool and Deathstroke are definitely separate characters
Oh,
now,
gotcha.
but their origins easily, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Namor, from what I remember, is essentially it was Marvel Comics' first superhero.
Oh,
Like
okay.
he's an Atlantean and he's a mutant. And so essentially, from what I remember, yeah, he's essentially their first one, and so that's why he's kind of slept on, but he is that kind of big character for Marvel. He is extremely powerful. He's essentially Aquaman. He's king of Atlantis. Then he's a mutant in his own right. And the thing is,
Damn, okay.
he's constantly, because it's that kind of thing of, instead of Aquaman where it's like they keep pretty good relations with the surface world,
Yeah.
Namor has both been a hero and a villain plenty of times.
Huh.
Like
Okay.
a lot of back and forth. And so that's why it would work for Two Kings, because you can see them clashing, but then also coming into the fold and see him just kind of going back and forth. Plus, it would be really good to get like thankfully Shang-Chi's coming out, but Namor, he is at the very least an somewhat Asian specific character.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
Asian actor would work really well for him.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, just getting a bit more representation in would
Yeah.
be nice without specifically going to a Shang-Chi, which is, well, it's actually, there's nothing wrong with it in its own right. Shang-Chi, I'm hoping, will essentially be the Black Panther of
Isn't it China?
Eastern.
China?
Well, yeah,
Or China?
Chinese,
Yeah.
but kind of also, because, you have Black Panther for African American culture.
Yeah, so
I'm hoping
having-
Shang-Chi
Yeah.
specifically Chinese culture, if not at the very least just kind of Eastern culture, like
Yeah.
Asian, so around that kind of thing. I'm hoping that's how it'll work
Yeah.
out.
I can see that.
Yeah. Rewinding a bit. So let's see, where did we get with all this? Going back a bit, so Spider-Man.
Oh wow, really going back, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was just thinking for next week, I'm gonna have my phone like right here, have a live stream on my phone,
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
so that way we're both in it. But I don't know whether to live stream with my personal one or like the Instagram for this, just because I know for my one there's obviously more followers than the Instagram page.
Yeah.
So
Maybe do a soft intro. So don't start it with yours since you're popular, and then go with like the Instagram one. Oop.
or I started off with mine, and then I'll give you the details for the Instagram one, and then you stream so that way it's on both.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll look into
Anyway,
it. But yeah, so I do want to go to a break in a second, but so just quickly wrapping one thing up, I think the Defenders not being in the MCU anymore is good and bad, and that it gives them breathing room to bring in Mahershala Ali as Blade, but then it kind of sucks because they were brilliant. I'm
Yeah.
hoping they still keep the same actors. Charlie Cox is Daredevil,
Oh
honestly.
god, yeah, he's
like
no one
even-
can replace him. Same with John Bernthal as the Punisher.
In my opinion, also same with
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, Jessica Jones.
Yeah, they've all earned the right to
even the
carry
guy for Iron Man. Like he's a brilliant actor in his own right. He's just got
RDJ.
What?
What did you say? Iron Man?
sorry, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Okay.
Danny,
Danny-
because that's the
sorry.
thing.
I was gonna say Danny Rand, but that's his actual name.
He's a really good actor in his own right. He
Yeah.
just got kind of flogged with the Iron Man script and direction.
Yeah, Iron
So-
Fist.
Yeah, Iron Fist. I said Iron Fist,
I thought you
right?
said Iron.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yellow hand guy. I don't. God damn it. Point is, I think they all deserve the right to be those characters, especially like, say for instance with Charlie Cox, he studied so hard to like act blind,
Yeah.
so much
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
that I remember he went to audition for a movie afterwards, and he lost the role because he couldn't look at the camera.
Shit.
He was so used to having his eyes averted and looking as though he can't actually physically see that he couldn't keep eye contact.
Damn.
Like it affected
That's
him.
intense.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was his dedication to the role, and we all know how brilliant he was.
Oh god, yeah.
That's
That's why he got 3 seasons. Boom.
didn't Jessica Jones
Oh,
also
and
get
Jessica, and Jessica Jones, yeah.
Jessica Jones was really good. The first season was the best in my opinion.
I've only seen the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't
Second
seen the other
season was here and there, and I haven't seen the third season. I've heard it wasn't the best it could have been, but meh. Because oh my god, the Purple Man, Kilgrave.
Oh, Kilgrave, David Tennant, yeah.
Yeah, he did so well as him.
Oh god, yeah. He was...
Keep in mind, do you know in the comics the Purple Man is literally purple?
Oh, okay.
He's got purple skin.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like,
fair enough.
yeah, that's why he's not just Edward Kilgrave, or I know his last name's Kilgrave because Kilgrave. But that's why he was always wearing purple in it, and why Jessica Jones the series looked purple, because they didn't want to actually give him purple skin. They were trying to be more realistic, but that was still his whole thing.
Yeah.
Because that's his name. I keep saying it, but that's his name in the comics. He's known as the Purple Man.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty neat.
And on that note, I want to wrap up some stuff with Spider-Man, but we'll get to it right after this break. Bye.
Bye. New.
And we're back.
Yeah.
So, hey, we've got someone. Oh, Tracy Cook. Hey, what's up?
You're appreciated, my dude.
So with Spider-Man in it. Hey, maybe reply or something. Thanks for tuning in, Tracy. So with Spider-Man, so obviously he's going to be in one of the MCU films. I think he would be really good. Obviously in Falcon and Winter Soldier, as we already explained. What MCU film do you think he would be in?
Sorry, who's
'Cause-
this, sorry?
So Spider-Man.
Oh, right, the film.
So obviously, like he's gonna be in
Ooh.
one of them. I don't think he would work for, say, bye Tracy. I don't think he would work for what's it called, Doctor Strange, because it's gonna be a
No,
horror film and
no,
they're gonna have so
definitely
many
not.
people.
Definitely.
I think he'd be scared shitless in it anyway.
Yeah. I think even just filming it, he'd be like, oh
So not Doctor Strange. What else could he be in? Because that's what I'm trying to think where they'll bring him in. Because let's see.
no. Maybe Guardians.
Nah.
As like,
Thor? No.
that's the thing. He doesn't really fit.
Well,
per
depends
se.
on. I'm trying to think about what films they have coming out. Shang-Chi wouldn't make sense. It needs to be something established. Although, couldn't he? Who knows if it'll even be one of the ones we have?
Yeah, it might not
like-
even be one that's announced.
Yeah, because that's the
So,
thing. Could be
Phase
future stuff.
4,
So
Phase 5.
yeah, I can see one with him in the next Captain Marvel. Like if she comes back to Earth, just because.
Yeah,
Just
no,
even
that-
from their short interaction with, hey Peter, got something for me there?
Yeah.
Like I really like that idea of like, and I know they were kind of setting up the A-Force like little snippet there,
Yeah.
but like that kind of, because keep in mind, Captain Marvel is essentially going to need to be the new Iron Man for MCU, so kind of keeping up that relation. I can see her as a kind of tough love figure for him,
yeah.
who keeps up, really harsh at times, but then
It's necessary for
yeah,
it to be
you
like
could.
that towards
We
him.
know how soft Captain Marvel can be. Like
yeah.
we saw it in the first film, and so seeing sweet little moments like that with her in there. Because here's the thing, I think it's also a case of with Captain Marvel. Obviously, in the comics, she can be pretty serious, and in this, she's a part of S.W.O.R.D. She's got like the entire universe as a scope, not just Earth. And so I feel like they could do him an appearance in her movie, or vice versa, where she kind of learns to reel back in her humanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she kind of learns to be like, oh, I'm being too harsh on the kid. Kind
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so I guess that's just thoughts on
Yeah, no,
Spider-Man.
Definitely.
Really useless segue here. Have you got anything else you want to say about it, or?
No, really, I think we've covered everything, and I think people who listen to us like regularly were probably sick and tired of us talking about Spider-Man.
Let's talk about comics. If you,
Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, I
sorry,
agree, but
bud.
like just Spider-Man.
That's the thing, because Spider-Man's been so in the news recently,
Yeah.
just because of the whole deal.
Exactly. There's a lot to talk about with him.
All right, let's just move on. So Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Oh, boy.
So,
Did I
Greta
get down
Thunberg.
to?
Oh, sorry.
no.
What was it?
How long have we been doing this for? Like 4 minutes.
Yeah, about that.
Jeez.
I don't mind going over for this. It's a
Yeah,
live
same.
stream, that's fine. So, Greta Thunberg, for anyone who is unaware, is this... I don't know how you could be unaware of it because she's literally fucking everywhere.
The video blew up.
Yeah, and the amount of memes she got turned into. Alright, so Greta Thunberg is a 16-year-old girl from Sweden, I believe,
I can see that.
who made a speech at the UN Climate Change Summit a couple of days ago, or last week. Probably
Yeah.
last week. And her moral of the speech was pretty much, shame on you for destroying our planet. You come to us young people for the answers and yada, yada, yada. Now, things that... so what
Okay,
she's
go
doing
for
is brave. Like,
Yeah.
not many 16-year-old kids would go up there and say shit like that to world leaders. And that's...
That's impressive. in
Yeah,
its
that's
own right.
impressive. And the message that she's saying is, yeah, I agree with the message that more needs to be done in order to try and prevent climate change, global warming, all that stuff. But how does a 16-year-old girl from Sweden get to be a speaker at a United Nations summit?
So is it a case of you feel like
What makes her so special? Like, there's probably tons of 16-year-old girls who think
she was just one who got through?
Yeah, but like, how did she get through? What made her What made
Look
her
into
stand
it.
out?
I've already
I
seen.
did. I looked into it this morning because someone brought that up.
Okay,
Actually,
yeah.
the fact that like, well, how did she get there? Who paid for her to go?
Yeah.
What made her so special? And then I tried searching
And so
trying
what
to
did you
find
find?
nothing. I couldn't like. I'm like, how did Greta get to the UN?
Okay, well, no, I mean, more so like I already saw that she's been doing this for a while from what I can see, like TED Talks and that kind of thing. So if I had to guess, it's been a slow progression of, for some reason, they listened to her, someone listened to her. You know, when people get on like a TED Talk.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because she has already done that. Listening to her speech to the UN, it definitely felt scripted either as a speech or like it almost sounded poetic to an extent.
Yeah, she
They were
hit the
poetic.
right things in terms of
Yeah.
speech by using emotive language to get people to pull on their heartstrings to
Yeah.
make it effective, which is what you should do with any speech, is play to their emotions, because that's how you sell things, that's how you get the point across
Yeah.
effectively. So she did that good. But
Yeah.
I also disagree with the fact that she got there for like,
You're hiding behind the microphone.
don't abuse me, please, after I make all these horrible comments.
No, keep on.
But yeah, no, so she wouldn't have taken economy to get there. I
Yeah.
very much doubt that. She probably would have been put up in a very nice 5-star hotel.
So you think she's being hypocritical?
Yeah.
Okay. Two things here. So one, I'll just finish up what I was trying to say. So I think, and this is just from I have a tiny background on
Yeah, I'm not an
poetry
expert on this
and
one. I
whatnot.
don't
Yeah.
like this.
Well, no, I'm also saying what she was doing and
Oh,
how
right,
she might
yeah,
have
yeah,
gotten there.
yep.
And like, you know, I was an English student at school for a little bit there, and you've seen some of my spoken word poems, or
yeah.
at least some of the drafts for them, which
No, they're good. I like
really
them.
need to get back
Yeah,
into.
they're
Thanks,
good.
man. But yeah, that's the thing, because I do enjoy spoken word, and listening to her, I can definitely see poetic elements in her speech. And if she's been on TED Talk, I can see her being as that kind of I can see her being a kind of English person who gets out that kind of structure so she knows how to get there.
Yeah.
Also, with her being hypocritical, I definitely see where you're coming from. The only thing, I guess the thing was that I've seen so far is I'm not really looking at her, more so I'm looking at her message. Looking at her,
Yeah.
I definitely see the hypocrisy of it.
I think she's just a pawn, really.
Oh yeah,
She's
definitely.
like,
I definitely
without,
think.
without trying to get into too many conspiracy theories and all that
Mhm,
stuff,
mhm.
like she's just a pawn, like in a much bigger game.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, ultimately, talking about the UN, politics is still a thing. That's not even conspiracy. That's just politics.
At this
People are used and abused here and there.
Yeah, like at this point, I don't think we're even a democracy. We're borderline dictatorship, totalitarianistic kind of spot at this point. Because really, if you go against the norm, say things that are out of the thing, you get shat on pretty much. You get abused, and just because they're not agreeing with everything else that's being said. Which
Yeah.
I suppose that's happened all throughout history, but I feel now in particular, you say something that's against the general
People have gotten
norm,
so used to the normal,
especially when it comes to,
societal
as
view.
we mentioned before, like the transgender, gay rights, all that stuff. You say with
PC culture.
PC culture, that's probably the
Well,
best way to say it.
I feel like that's two separate things. So and wow, we're really getting into this. I feel like there's the kind of thing of a conformative society. I'm starting to sound so weird here.
No, please.
In I
No
think,
one's listening, so it's okay.
yeah, good point. No one's listening, so screw it.
We can say whatever
Um,
we want.
I still think there's definitely that kind of conformative society thing of, you know, like there are people who shout out against it, but there's still a thing of grow up, choose your career, get an office job, have a family, live the American dream all across Western society. And that's still a thing, and that does, like, just naturally growing up in that system, that breeds conformity and just keep your
Yeah.
head down, do what the boss says, and you'll be good. But then I also think there's PC culture, which is necessarily, I think, stems from the other end of people who don't want to conform, but then saying they have rights too. And so since that's become such a massive majority, that's its own separate conformity issue, and that now you have to accept everything while still accepting to a structure.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
without.
for it.
You know, I'm just thinking of the stuff we spoke about last week in terms of the we didn't really touch upon political
I think we were
correctness.
too scared to.
But now we're in front of a camera. We have power. Camera's like size of a 20-cent coin. So much power.
Oh my God, yeah. But no, come on. So
Like, okay, political correctness, I think at this point has gone way too far. It's just a piss take at this point. Like, I
Yeah.
hear some of the they're not even well constructed arguments for like debates on why you should be politically correct. It's just like, you should be it because I get offended if you're not. Like, oh, be fucking who? Grow up.
well, that's the thing. I think it's a case of these days people
People get so offended
everyone
over
agrees.
anything.
Everyone agrees with the concept of equality so much,
Yeah.
and everyone's scared of our own past mistakes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm for equality, and
Yeah, that's the thing. It has good intentions from the start. It's just at this point, I feel it's been abused
way
by
it's
people who
turned out. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing. Not everyone who is part of, say, PC culture or of any movement, not everyone is necessarily good or correct. Not everyone has the right intentions. Like,
yeah.
personally, I could scream for equality and say, hey, we all deserve good rights. But then someone behind me is going to say, yeah, that's why you should give me specifically more rights. And so everyone
Yeah.
has their own motivation and intent to push forward. And so I think that's definitely start of what's kind of driving this, and that everyone agrees with equality. Everyone, at the
Yeah.
very least, is scared of what they did. No one wants to be seen as a bad person anymore.
Okay.
And so people can use
I'm
that to push their own agenda.
For equality in the sense that men and women for doing the exact same things should be paid accordingly. Obviously, there are some exceptions to that. For example, the soccer finals that was happened a little while ago,
Okay.
because the players get paid on what they bring in. So if the male one is bringing in billions and billions of dollars, obviously they're going to get paid
I see
more
what
than
you
the
mean.
females who are bringing in
That's
hundreds
more
of
so a
thousands, billions.
cultural thing there,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Okay, in that sense, women can't complain about the pay gap in that sense because they're not bringing in enough to warrant that paycheck.
Can I say something?
Of course, please.
From that's not necessarily that's completely understandable. Then it's not a case of they should be looking for more money. They should be looking at subverting the culture of nobody watches women's sports.
Yeah, because women's sports has only become a bigger thing in the last 5 to 10 years.
I don't
more
know.
Or less?
I don't watch sports.
Neither do I, so it's just a guess. But compared to how long men have been doing sports and competitive stuff, it's a shit
Because
ton
of-
longer than females.
Yeah, just because of gender inequality in general.
Yeah,
And that's
so-
kind of how it's always been. So now it's a case of people are still growing used to women's sports, which I don't see why they'd be any different. Like, it's still, I mean, I don't watch sports, so
Certain
maybe
ones
I'm
to me are
stupid,
more
but
enjoyable, especially when I don't go out of my way to watch this, but when it's on or whatever, I'll have a look at it. But
Yeah.
cage fighting, women's
Ooh.
cage fighting is so much more entertaining, just because they're vicious little things. Like, god damn.
Well, case in point, that's what I mean. Like, women's sports can be even better than, like, any sport. I don't see why it would be any better or worse. Oh, well, I guess, no. But look, that's a thing. So I definitely see at that point they should be more so trying to subvert the culture
Yeah.
than just, oh, hey, give us more pay. I don't even know if they are fighting for that, but yeah.
Yeah, like if you're doing the
What
same.
was our original point with this? Where we were going with this? Oh, yeah,
It
so
was- yeah.
equality. in your
Yeah,
opinion.
so I'm all for that, and people who do office jobs or whatever the fuck, women, they should be paid the same because
Yeah.
they're doing the exact same job.
You should be
Obviously.
paid for the work you do, regardless of who you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all for that, but there are certain circumstances where I think, soccer one, for example, the men
Yeah.
bring more in, therefore they get a bigger slice of the pie, as opposed to women who
I see where
don't
you're
bring
coming
us
from
more
there.
in.
Yeah.
They don't get a bigger piece of the pie, which I think is fair, because when the women get to a point where they bring in billions of dollars in revenue, then they get that money.
At that point, you could even extend it out to that's just entertainment in general. Would say actors, artists, musicians, because
Yeah.
at that point you can't, like in that kind of industry, you don't get to choose why you rake in money.
Yeah,
Like you don't
exactly.
get to choose why you're paid because it's not a fair system. It's a case of even then, you're fighting the culture, not necessarily like the people paying you. So if, say, you're a female artist, and when I say artist, I mean musician, and you're not making as much as a male artist, that's not necessarily a case of you should be paid as much as them. It's a case of you should fight the culture. Like, it shouldn't be a case of people are more likely to watch the guy because he's a guy. You should watch them for their art.
Yeah.
And so it's a case of, if there is inequality there, that's just the system's bugged in itself. The culture's bugged in itself, where, like, a person's gender, a person's race should not decide who they are, essentially,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. That's not necessarily looking at culture. Like, culture is a separate thing to
You know, in terms
race
of the
and gender and
racial thing,
Hmm.
yeah, who you are and like what you are racially, that should not define you as a person.
Hmm.
But when it comes to the like transgender stuff, because I think it's been pushed too far at this point, certain
We'll get into what you mean right after this break.
yeah.
And we're back. So, dude, I
Alright.
know what you're trying to say. It's a case of the words you're using.
Yeah.
Like, there is...
I'm trying really. I don't want to offend someone, but given this day and age, I think I might just by even trying not to.
Yeah, that's the thing. At this point, it's a case of... And what I do actually find kind of hypocritical, just off the top of my head, like, why is it so... Just because you're speaking out against this, why should you be banned and not... Because this
Yeah.
is your opinion.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then technically,
really
Australia doesn't actually have free speech.
Yeah,
Really?
Okay, so what's the deal with that? Because like when I see, because personally, I love being in Australia, but like when people, because I've seen people shit on America a lot, just because recently America hasn't had the best standing point. But of course, Americans.
ever.
Well, no, that's just saying America was really high up there for a long while. America, you know, it's America, and they think they're the greatest nation in the world for a reason. Because
America.
No.
Fuck yeah.
to a certain extent, they have had the real high things. They were really big on like pushing culture for all there. Their music was brilliant, and still to an extent is.
Yeah.
Like stuff like they pushed for rights and for liberty, and you know that's the whole basis of America. It's just what it's become now.
Yeah.
Like when you say, for instance, take a look at stats, everyone knows the American education system is buggered. Like I'd even say the Australian education system isn't brilliant, but the American one is really screwed. You take a look at their healthcare systems, and that's questionable.
What healthcare systems?
Exactly. And so that's what I mean. America
I heard
has...
a joke about the healthcare systems of America, and it's just like the only way Canada keeps out the Americans is by having a 3-foot wall, and they can't get over it because of how base and shit their healthcare systems are.
God.
It's a horrible joke, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Okay. But so... God damn it. What I was trying to say is... Essentially, yeah, that's the thing. But then I always see Americans going, hey, but we have the most free speech. Doesn't Australia, like, what's the difference there? Because, like, I can still say, like, I can still, I shouldn't. But, okay, so maybe it's even that fear of saying it there. I could talk about Australian politics and talk about ScoMo and whatnot, and my opinion on him. I don't really have one, I just think, yeah.
Yeah, so essentially, I think in America you have free speech in the sense that you can say whatever you want, and obviously you'll still be criticized for it, but it's okay. I'm not entirely sure how it actually works.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I can still...
I think it's based on precedent, I think. I will actually do some research and find out about that for next week or whatever.
Okay, yeah, because I'm just curious, because, like, we can go live now and say F the Australian government, and as far as I know, we shouldn't get raided.
Or,
Yeah.
are you aware of what Clive Palmer is currently doing?
No, what's he doing?
Are you familiar with a YouTube channel, Friendly Geordies?
I really need to start looking into it.
Okay, he is suing them. Clive Palmer is suing the guy Jordan Shanks, Friendly Geordies, for $500.
Dope last name, Shanks.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For $500,000 Australian. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because he called him a fatty McFuckhead, a crackpot, a walking meme.
Hey, don't repeat this on our show.
In my opinion. Huh. Okay, that's the thing. Like, Friendly Jordies has always shirts with half of Clive Palmer's face, and then it says, I'm Clive Palmer's a fatty McFuckhead. But they can't be sued for it because in the bottom of it says, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
still, how petty. He's suing a YouTuber because he called him a name, or a few names.
That's kind of
But
what I mean. So
It's a defamation
could
case.
they do that in America? Because, you know, like you have plenty of artists who call out Donald Trump. And as far as I know, nothing's been done against them. So
Yeah.
is that the difference? The fact that Clive Palmer can say that?
I
Can
think-
try to sue him? Or
I think anyone can, but it just depends on how petty you are, because you're in politics.
You're really
He's
not gonna
actually
call-
made a game, like,
You're
where
really-
he is a literal walking meme.
Yeah. You're really not going to call Donald Trump petty.
Okay, yeah, he's petty, but I don't think he's petty to the point where he's going to sue a local YouTuber because he called him a fatty McFuckhead.
Please stop saying that. I just don't like the
Fatty
sound of it.
then.
All right.
He's the Tim Tam man.
Oh my god, dude. Okay.
In my opinion, just to clarify.
Yeah. Oh my god, I look so ugly laughing on it. Oh my god. What the hell was that? You can't see. Like the microphone is blocking you at this point. Hi guys.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's oh, it did too. Damn it. Oh well.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like you've just
Yeah.
got a black dot in front of your face. Anyway.
Yep.
Rewinding a bit. So yeah, so I think we both could look into free speech a bit.
I will do research for this for the next
Yeah.
week, because I think what we'll start to do now is we'll have half of it on pop culture stuff, if there is pop culture stuff.
I will say this. I just kind of want to talk about whatever we want to talk about. Come in with any
Yeah,
topics
don't
we
get me
have
wrong,
and just
yeah.
start talking about it. That's now that we're live, so that can't. Well, no one's watching us, so screw it. Anyway, but
we will get there. We will get there.
yeah, here's the thing. So I wanted to go back a bit. So Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
So kind of her thing, and then so there's two sides to that. There's the personal aspect of who actually said it, but then what she's saying. So I get your I can agree with her being hypocritical, but I do think it's also a case of she doesn't have the power to get her there herself. So I definitely think there's a greater play there.
Yeah, someone's obviously
Someone
her
paid
to
to
get her there
put her there.
and
Yeah.
to say that particular thing, because obviously that was scripted. As you said, it's kind of poetic. Like,
Oh, no, that's the thing. I'm saying she made that herself to present to them. You know, it's obviously a speech she made.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's her saying it. It's just a case, I do honestly believe that's her opinion. But then I also think what she's saying specifically plays into someone else's agenda. And so they're
Yeah,
using
definitely.
what she says. So she gets to say what she wants, but it just means she's helping someone that she may not want to without knowing it.
yeah,
And that's kind of how that kind of thing can go these days. What I did want to get onto is actually her message.
Yeah,
which
so-
there's good and bad to it.
in its whole, it's really she's telling us we're shit people and we should be ashamed of how we've treated the planet. That's pretty much what she's
Is
saying
she-
in essence. Like, that's
To an extent, is she wrong though?
no.
To
She's
an extent.
not wrong, because yes, we have kind of fucked the planet into oblivion. But the
But-
way she went about it, I think, was
Yeah.
unnecessary, especially in the room with the world leaders to call them out and saying, "You guys are shit. You should be ashamed of what you've done." That's pretty ballsy.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
Like,
I'd almost say that's brave of her, to be frank, but it's also really stupid of her.
I could make a joke, but I'm not going to.
Oh, don't make that joke. I know what joke you're going to make.
What do you think I was going to?
Is it on the fact that you just said ballsy?
Oh no.
Okay, good.
was
Then
gonna
no,
say-
don't.
Yep.
No, I don't want to hear this from you. Oh my god. Okay, look, so
Someone paid for that flight
yeah.
from the joke where I could have gone.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. So, with what? Oh, what?
No, it wasn't a joke. It was
Okay,
just the
yeah.
fact that both Donald Trump and Scott Morrison, Australia's Prime Minister, have more or less taken the piss out of her for that speech, and Simpsons to an extent predicted it.
Yeah.
Simpsons predict fucking
predict
everything.
Yeah.
I swear the guy who creates that's like a time traveler.
What was I going to say? Here's the thing. So with them taking the piss out of that, that's kind of why. So here's the thing. And yes, I already signed it. I don't know your opinion on that or not, but because I have a few friends, a couple who are really hipster, but essentially a petition was put out that's already got over. It had 30,000 signatures on Thursday. Yeah, this is a petition, like a legitimate petition legally put out to the Australian government to declare a current climate emergency in Australia, and since you watch Friendly Geordies, I'm sure you've seen, like, for instance, his show on it, and, like, even more than that, Australia has, take a look at the Great Barrier Reef, for instance.
What Great Barrier Reef?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Australia is the world in general, but Australia especially is in a current climate emergency, and in my opinion, not enough being done.
Australia, we just commissioned 150 million for some space shit, and the Great Barrier Reef is dying. Like,
That's what I mean.
Come on, man.
Like, that's the thing. So,
what are you doing, Scott Morrison?
That's what I mean. That's why I like the petition, because at this point, if it does get through, and I mean, there's only so much you can really push for politics these days, it would make them declare current climate emergency and put more funding into looking to actually save our environment. Considering one of the biggest things about Australia is that we are actually one of our biggest strong points and national symbols is our environment.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the outback, our beaches, like greenery, like to anyone outside of Australia, yes, we have greenery, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We have snow, wouldn't you know? I didn't know that until I was young when I learned that. I didn't believe we had snow anywhere in Australia.
Neither, to be honest, yeah.
But yeah, you got
because like, you see all the Christmas movies, it's like always snowing at Christmas, and then you look outside yours, it's like 40 degrees outside. It's like,
oh yeah, that's the thing. Like Australian summers, 40 degrees. We're used to the heat. That's 40 degrees Celsius for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's. So what was I trying to get? Yeah, Australia, one of our biggest things is our environment, and it's what I do also love about being in Australia. But of course, at this point, we're really screwing it up, and I think there should be greater focus on it. I think in general, there should be greater focus, like to the world. But I think that's why, for the good and bad of Greta Thunberg's speech, there's that. There was the recent climate march, which has been the biggest march for climate change in history.
Yep.
And so that kind of things, and then this petition, I feel like, you know, recently, millennials especially, we've been saying, hey, climate change is a thing, our planet is dying, but I feel like now people are actually acting on that.
Yeah,
and I think that's good.
Scott
honestly.
Morrison more said that it's needless anxiety was the quote he used for...
Okay, why is he saying that? Because he doesn't believe it, or because he's like, it's too late?
Or maybe because by the time shit actually does hit the fan, he'll be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what like, it's probably not, but that's how I kind of think that most of the political people who are in parliament who are like really up there, that's why they don't care, because by the time it does actually cause proper damage, they'll be gone.
And that was a lot of the point of Greta's speech.
Yeah.
Because the fact that they did this and they don't have to deal with the consequences. So to that extent, it's both good and bad, because here's the thing, she basically said that to the entire older generation. Not everyone who's old is a part of that.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
Not everyone who's young is for climate change.
Yeah, some people think it's not. Some people think it's propaganda.
And some people don't care. Like, you still have plenty of guys, like car lovers. I've got mates who are car lovers, and I'm not saying anything bad about you, but I'm saying, like, there's still guys who would prefer to have diesel fumes flying out of their car, like, you know, those big black smokestacks, than actually fix it a bit just for the environment, just because cars, and they don't want to give it up.
I don't understand why some people do that, or just have, like, fucking...
It's a part of the culture.
Flames come out of the exhaust and all that stuff. I was never really a car person, so I personally don't see the appeal, but obviously people who have grown up being mechanics and everything and working on cars, they can appreciate it and everything, but I personally just don't see. I don't understand why.
Nonetheless, look, so we are kind of running out of time, so we're going to push it a bit, in my opinion. We'll take a quick break here, guys, and then we'll come back for maybe 15 minutes or so, maybe 10, 15, just to wrap things up.
Yeah.
And we might actually continue this in our next one, just because
which
It's something
I
that
will be
needs to
live
talked about.
streaming to our Instagram page, and probably our Instagram page.
You.
So follow us on that for live stream on
Yeah.
a live stream. Live stream Inception.
Oh my god. We'll be
Alright.
back in just a moment, guys.
Bye.
And what's up? Let's end this. What was the time signature? Shit.
I think it was 101. This will be our longest show here.
Since we've started here, yeah.
Yeah, because I think our longest one all up is an hour and 10. So yeah.
So let's kind of just start to wrap this up then.
Yep.
So obviously we've given our opinion on climate change, and so I definitely think, personally, what I'm happy about, and maybe this is just the hipster/hippie that I've been brought up to be, but I am happy that people are actually talking about climate change. I am happy that the young generation is finally starting to have a voice
Yes,
and
definitely.
starting to put an effort to making action.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's backlash from it that is deserved to an extent. I definitely think, there's hypocritical nature to this, but also if she got up there, even if it's for the wrong reasons that someone put her up there, the fact that she got out there and made that statement, I think is good. So I'm just hoping in general we can make a stand and a movement for the better.
Yeah, definitely. I will do my research for free speech, so better understanding of that, and
I'll try to look in a bit more into Greta's history as well.
yeah,
Um,
that way we can make informed decisions.
Yeah, we're just talking about anything. Like we
This-
don't put a lot of research into this, guys.
Yeah.
It's just us being us talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
We enjoy
for
doing
things
this.
like this. I think we should probably
Yeah.
actually do stuff because people can be like, "Well, you don't know anything. You didn't do the research."
Yeah.
And to that I say, "Well, we're here and you're not."
In my opinion, that both has merit and not. Like you shouldn't just disregard someone just because they don't necessarily know something. What they're saying could be right.
Yes.
But everyone always wants an authority behind it. So
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna debate anything, really, it's good to have like facts and stuff to
oh god, yeah.
like prove your point and get it across, because anyone can argue anything really and use bullshit examples like the PC thing once. I don't like it because it offends me. And that's the whole argument. It's like, well, what part of it offends you? What do you feel about
There's
it?
more we can go into that. So look,
Yeah.
climate change, free speech, politics. I like that we're getting into this.
Yeah.
PC
Very fun.
culture. This is stuff we'd actually really like to talk about, and we'll save it for you guys. In the case that you actually like it, don't worry. We're still going to talk about Spider-Man, even if you're sick of it. We're still going to talk about the MCU. There's
Yep.
still other comic stuff I want to talk about. What's her name? Amy. The girl who plays Maria Hill. She was in How I Met Your Mother. You know who I'm
Oh,
talking about?
Amy Smolder. No,
Amy
it's,
Smolder, yeah,
Kobe.
no, Kobe Smolder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
she's recently in a certified fresh comic thing that's basically a true crime comic.
Oh,
It's called
awesome.
Stumptown. That looks really good. The
Oh,
trailer's good.
definitely. Okay. I'll have
There's
to
stuff
look
like
at
that. Believe it or not, and we might just lose viewers here if we have any. Adam Sandler is in a really intense A24 movie. The trailer recently released for something called Uncut Diamonds. It's
Okay.
intense.
All right. I'll have to
It
look
looks
at
good.
that.
I'll show you the trailer. just
Personally,
after this
I
episode.
like Adam Sandler, despite what others may think.
Yeah.
I like him.
We
Alright.
just lost our entire audience. But nonetheless,
well.
we need to wrap things up. We need to get going. So I'm glad you guys could tune and listen to us. To Tracy and Stephen, thanks for coming in for a little
Yep, you
bit,
guys
guys.
are awesome.
Any support is really lovely, and
Yeah.
thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hope you all have a great week wherever you are. What are you doing? Hope you have fun and be
We hope this reaches
awesome.
you, and even if it doesn't, just general message: enjoy yourself.
Be awesome.
We've got a long weekend here in Western Australia. Enjoy that if you've got it, or enjoyed it when you had it, depending on when this goes out.
we
to
actually
record.
don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but nonetheless, let's wrap it up. And so I've been Harry,
I'm Matt.
and this has been This, That, The Other 3TO. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check you guys later.
Bye.